Hey guys, what's going on? Oh, wake up!
Hey you.
Rouge the Bad Hentai.
Hey guys, so we just saw Companion. Our buddy Kyle did a review. He can't be here unfortunately, but we do have his thoughts on it.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed Companion. Sorry I couldn't be there to review it with you all. I thought it was a pretty good movie. I gave it a 7 out of 10 or a 3.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. I found it quite enjoyable, albeit a little predictable, maybe formulaic at times. I think that's really the only thing I have to knock. I thought that Drew Hancock, who wrote and directed it, did a great job. He wrote Blue Mountain State, of all things, or was one of the writers on that show, interestingly enough. I thought the performances were really good. I thought Sophie Thatcher was great. She was able to convey a lot of different emotions as her character. Jack Quaid was just fine in his role, and I thought the supporting cast was really good. Rupert Friend, who is one of my favorite slept-on actors, did a great job as that Russian dude in the beginning. I went in not watching any trailers or reading anything about the movie. I saw some of the press interviews, but that's about it. And I feel like within the first 10 minutes maybe I was able to kind of guess the plot just based on some character interactions, or at least where I thought the plot direction was heading. So that's really the only knock I have on the movie. I thought everything else was just fine. The set location was really cool, how they just really stuck to one location for that. I love some of those smaller scale stories that are confined. The dialogue was really believable. The movie flew by, I think, being only an hour and a half. I think it's kind of interesting that some of these movies this year especially are shorter. I haven't seen Love Hurts yet, but I heard that movie's like an hour and 20 minutes. So yeah, I thought it was a just fine movie. Like I said, 7 out of 10. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think it's definitely worth seeing. Do I think it justifies the like 90 to 95% Rotten Tomatoes critic and audience scores? Maybe not. I don't know if that's really indicative of the story itself. But given that January and February are always really, really slow months for films, I'm glad that we had something that was enjoyable to watch in theaters. So thanks, guys.
Well, obviously you didn't see Creation of the Gods too.
I would say, yeah, I pretty much agree with most of what he says. I'd probably give it between I don't want to say 6, maybe a 6.5. It was kind of predictable. The funny thing is, like, yeah, he said he didn't really see the trailers. I saw the trailer, so from the trailer, I knew she was a robot, and I wish I hadn't seen it, because like earlier on in the movie, you just think, wow, this girlfriend's really kind of one-dimensional, and it's all about him, and yeah, you can kind of pick up on some stuff, but like, there's a point where he's like, oh, Ira's asleep, and that's supposed to be like the, moment. But up until that, I already knew. So there were things I was picking up on that I feel like if I didn't know, how would I have viewed those parts of the film? I might be like kind of like piecing things together my own way. So, but a trailer is what trailer is. But yeah, acting was really good. I've only seen Sophie Thatcher in Heretic. I don't know the name of the actor, but Eli, the gay dude, he was like a kind of a supporting role, but he was my favorite. Like, he was really funny and really naturalistic. But yeah, he was like one of my favorite parts of it. It was really good. I would say the themes aren't really anything groundbreaking. Like, incel dude kind of like, has this robot he likes control, and then it kind of flips a switch and it gains control of itself, and it kind of, eventually it kills him. But yeah, overall I would say like 6.5. Yeah, it was decent.
Yes, echoing just all of that. It's weird. I feel like we are in this strange, and to be fair, I feel like you all can kind of reinforce this statement, or maybe combat this statement. I feel like we're back in like this era of just like people making movies for the sake of movies. In terms of like, we're no longer in like this blockbuster era where every movie has to be this like big thing. Like, people can just finally make movies now, and that's what this felt like. This felt like a return to form in a way of this campy horror movie, not even horror, but just like campy dark comedy type of movie that I don't think we would get maybe 5 years ago. It's a weird one. The themes are very blatant. They're very it's weird. It's almost like incel humor in a way, in terms of like what this is trying to like do or say, because movies are trying to always say something. Like, this whole AI thing I feel like it's been overdone. It's been done quite a bit. To this extent, I do find it a little more interesting, just because it's about a sex bot. It is, which is in a different which is a strange movie, because I feel like we've gotten movies like this, like I think we mentioned like Don't Worry Darling, movies like that where it's this type of scenario. God, it's either like you make or break this, and I feel like with Don't Worry Darling, they took it so seriously that I could not take it seriously, versus this movie, they really kind of amplify that camp. Overall, it made it enjoyable in a way. The messaging is also a little strange to me. As far as like the predictability things, I don't know, I go into a movie not necessarily wanting to predict things. I like to just be taken taken on a journey, and if you do that journey well, then you impress me. But if I sometimes describe this to Sunny, it's just the oh okay effect, where if something just happens and you just have to go okay and like just accept it and move on, you've kind of failed. That movie doesn't really do this. It does it tiny bit. I would give this movie maybe I think I agree. Maybe like a 7. Like 7. 7's pretty good for it. It surprised me at times because I didn't expect it to be kind of so stupid, which was enjoyable and which was like, okay, you know your genre, you're going with it, you're having fun with it. I appreciate that. That's so cool. I love that. Is it a gay movie? It's a kind of a gay movie. Here's the problem. There's gay characters in it. There's a gay character in it.
There's gay characters.
The robot's also gay.
You know what? You're not wrong. There's two gay. There's a gay robot. And there's a gay character. Companion is a gay movie, but it's a gay movie because it has gay characters in it.
So,
in terms of the gay substance, not that substance. It's serviceable. It's fine.
I like the movie. It was just kind of a fun movie for me. Kind of to Ivan's point, I wish I didn't see the trailer because like the whole beginning, they're just like kind of laying the like hints of like, oh, like why is she so weird? Why is she so quirky? And then, you know, the whole like, oh, Iris off thing, it's like supposed to be like a big moment. Like watching like them drop the breadcrumbs, I was like, man, like I wish I didn't know because it's like one, you probably would have picked it up. But like two, it's just like I feel like I'm missing out on something. I think really that's like my only negative of the movie. I mean, like yeah, it was pretty predictable. I think the one part that kind of got me was he was like they were like kind of like framing him as this like Russian mobster, and it was like his house that they were in. And then I guess spoiler alert, it turned out he wasn't a mobster. He just like sold dirt or something. But like his death was like kind of surprising, I guess. Other than that, it was just kind of like I'm not really like expecting a lot out of it. Especially watching the trailer, you kind of like understand like what the movie's going to be and where it's going to go. And like she literally says like in the beginning of the movie, oh, the 2 times I felt great was when I met him and then when I killed him. So it's like obviously you know he's going to die in the end. I think there was one really cool shot where when she shot herself and you see like the bullet go through her eyes. I thought that was super cool. I'd give it like I think honestly I'd give it like an 8.5.
It's funny if like you're talking about like the movie being spoiled about being a robot thing because I know there was that like Megan Fox robot companion movie that came out like recently. I don't even know the name of it. I thought this movie was that movie because like so I basically had the movie spoiled because I thought
told us this like 5 times.
Yeah, but I didn't say it in the review.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say it's a pretty enjoyable movie. It was well paced. I think we've gone to past the point where it's like before in Hollywood we would have like baby boomers writing Gen X dialogue. And I think all of them like retired or died. So now we're getting Gen X writing millennial dialogue. Like a lot of the dialogue sometimes I assume is a little bit more cringe than they're trying to go for. And I assume they're going for a little bit of cringe in this movie because like a lot of the humor seems to be based on cringe. I thought it was an enjoyable time. You know, it had, you know, twists and turns. Predictable, sure. Is there a lot of AI companion movies? Yes. I thought Ex Machina was a better, and I guess it was, Ex Machina wasn't a comedy, but it was basically the same movie as this, but I enjoyed it more. The acting is fine. I think, like I said, like Eli is probably my favorite like actor in the movie. I'd probably give it a 7.5 out of 10. I enjoyed it. Do I love it? I feel about this movie the same way I feel like I felt about Strange Darling, where like, I guess Strange Darling is a lot more unique movie than this, but like, I feel like the dialogue kind of like brought it down a little bit more than it should, and like the themes are just like, yeah, that's fine. I don't know. It is an enjoyable movie. Would I watch it again? Probably not.
I'd show it to a friend.
I'd watch it with a friend.